Welcome to the beginning of the Sunday night episode because I'm going away. So we're recording 2 episodes in 1 week. So by the time we get to the fourth hour in 1 week, whoo, that's not going to be a good hour. It's going to be a questionable fucking hour. Well, hopefully something goddamn interesting happens on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday night. By Wednesday night, something interesting better have happened. For some reason today, I was driving home from the yard. I was moving all the trucks around the yard and getting it set up for the winter today. And this story just popped into my head of this shit that happened. And like when something happens, sometimes you don't realize the epicness of it when it occurred. And then it sticks with you for years and years. And you just don't realize how epic that really was in the moment. So I'm going to call this probably the greatest I don't give a fuck moment I've ever seen at work.
By you?
No, I just witnessed this. Well, I was a part of it. I played a small role, but I wasn't, this was just me outright. So I had a friend and he looks like Meatloaf, the singer.
Nice.
So everyone calls him the Loaf. And we used to work together a lot. When I worked at one of the original contractors I worked at, he was, I guess, essentially my crew. Me and him, the two of us would go out and do shit. And one day I was driving the 5-ton flatbed with the crane, towing the float, and he was driving a pickup truck, one of the beat up D250s, Dodge D250, 85, 86. This is a nasty vehicle. This is not a good vehicle. In rough condition, a lot of dents. And so he stopped at the lights in the lane closest to the left-hand turn lane. And I was in the outside lane. And there was maybe 2 cars in front of me. And I stopped at the lights. And I'm sitting at the lights. And all of a sudden you hear screeching. And this Cadillac just impales itself on the back of the pickup of Loaf's pickup truck. And I'm like sitting in the truck going... I'm sitting in my truck looking over going, fuck, that's shit. Like, this is going to, like, 6 o'clock at night, we're in Toronto. I'm like, fuck, light turns green. The Loaf just drives away. Like nothing happened. Just outright drives the fuck away. But there's no cell phone. And this is going to, like, the younger audience is going to think, wow, there was no cell phones back then. So it's just me driving beside him, catching up to him, going, what the fuck are you doing? You just drove away from an accident. And we're like an hour and a half from home. So for a whole hour and a half, I'm in my truck going, did he know he got hit? Like, there's no way he didn't feel it. Like, the rad of the Cadillac exploded. And there was fluid everywhere and steam. And there's no fucking way he didn't know he got hit. But it's like, you can't talk to him because there's no fucking cell phones. So the whole way home, I just figured, I guess he didn't know he got hit. Like he didn't feel it. Like he must not have known. So we get to the yard, I get out, I walk over, I go, Loaf, did you not know that Cadillac hit you hard? He goes, yeah, I saw it hit me. I was like, you just drove away. And he goes, I don't give a fuck about this truck. I don't give a fuck about this company, and I don't give a fuck about Larry. I didn't want to get home at 10 o'clock tonight, so I just left. I said, "What? Don't you think the Cadillac wants your insurance or something?" They hit me. They're probably happy as fuck that I left. I was like,
okay, yeah, he's not wrong. Yeah,
he's not wrong. And because there's no cell phones to record anything, but nothing ever came of it.
Sure, there was no cameras anywhere.
No cameras, nothing. No streetlight cameras. But
no dash cams.
There was a Cadillac that needed to get towed with the whole front of it completely destroyed in the middle of the road. Just left of its own devices, I guess. But yeah, we never heard back about it at all. And
That's all right. Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, like, do you guys have like something that sticks out in your mind where I can't believe how little that person gave a fuck? Because to me, in my whole life, I don't know if I've encountered someone who gave a fuck less than a guy who just kept the truck in gear and drove away after, didn't even get out, didn't even undo his fucking seatbelt. Didn't even look in the mirror, just kept looking ahead and then drove away. Like that's when you know you really do not give a fuck. If that is full, do not give a fuck. If
Yeah, I
anyone
got
listens to this, send DM us your I do not give a fuck stuff. Anyways, I just thought about that now. Go ahead, Chad.
that would be great. Yeah. I don't have anything near that crazy. I remember snowplowing one year. And I
God.
had this 2006 F550. So it was a 6 liter diesel, and I think the serpentine belt shit the bed or something, and it was like minus 40 out. So I call it in. I'm like, hey, I need someone to come and pick up this truck. Um, so the owner of the company, and this is a pretty big company, I'd say 15 million a year, something like that.
Wow.
The owner shows up with a triaxle and a full size triaxle float, like big boy float, right? And he's like, okay, just pull it on the truck, pull it on the float. I'm like, well, there's no serpentine belt, like there's no power steering, right? So I'm trying to turn this thing with all my might, and I ran over this fucking sign, and the guy rips open the door. He's like, "You fucking idiot! Let me in there!" And he gets in there, and he's like a buck 50, but like all belly on him. So he like his whole belly, he uses it to turn the wheel, drives it right up onto the float, puts the blade down, gets back in the truck, and fucks off. And like he didn't tie it down or anything. Like the air ramps came up and off he went. And I'm standing there at minus 40 degrees. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do to get home?
He
Like,
left you there
he
in the
left
parking
me
lot.
there.
That's a do not
Yeah.
give a fuck.
Yeah. Like the owner of the company just fucking left me there. And like, I don't know.
Did you
I
stick
pre-
around and stay at that company because you knew that they valued you?
it was only my winter gig. I really like I still had natural design in the summer. Like I really didn't care all that much. And I knew I made the guy a boatload of money. So it wasn't it wasn't the end of the world. Like I just got in the loader and I think I finished my shift in the loader and I had someone come pick me up or something like that. But I wasn't like freezing for hours and hours on end. So,
You
but
didn't get
he
hypothermia.
didn't give a shit, this guy. Like I'm sure he must have done it a million times. Like he's one of those old school guys, right? Like they don't give a shit about anything. Just
I
on the float and away it goes.
was having a conversation with Jordan from DPR, who's been on this show. We're talking about some different snowplowing scenarios, and one of them was Jesus, what the fuck is going on here? That's not working out at all. Oh. All right, sorry, I couldn't get my glasses back on my head. Um, we're talking about these scenarios about like floating a piece of equipment from site to site to do sidewalks. You know, like you have a trailer on your plow truck, and
Oh
then
yeah.
someone jumps out, gets in a skid steer, like a little
Yeah.
sidewalk tractor or something, backs it off the float. We're talking about these scenarios, and so he's like, "Yeah, but chaining it down and strapping it and unstrapping it, and this fucking that's painful. That's bullshit. Like it just would suck." And I said, "Oh, I did that before. We used to bring the S7. This is, we used to bring the S70 around, and we would do this and we would do that." And he said, "I didn't get sick of like chaining it down and unchaining it all night." And I said, "I don't know. I never,
Never did that.
never chained it down. What are you talking about? Just drove it on the float, went to the next place, drove it off, drove it on the float." He's like, "Yeah, Mike, it's 2023. When were you doing that? When were you just driving with an unchained down running?" Because back then too, we'd start them and you didn't shut them off, right?
Yeah.
They ran all night, so we'd be driving around with a running machine on our trailer all night. Plowing. Like, when were you doing this? And I was like, to be fair, it was probably like 2006, 2007, 15, 16 years ago. Like, he goes, now they actually start, now they pull plow trucks over all the time and check them for all kinds of shit in the middle of storms and fucking. Maybe you'd be less likely to get away with driving your. It just made me feel old. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I guess that was like 15 years ago I was doing that.
Yeah, that's not that long ago. I
No.
still don't like how those little snowplow guys will pull over on the side of the road in the middle of a storm to plow someone's driveway. They'll walk their little fucking walk behind snowblower off and do someone's
Yes.
lawn or driveway and then get back. And I'm like, fuck, this is not the time to be out with a little
No.
trailer togging up half the road. So, but what do you do? Half those guys aren't insured anyway.
Well, they're not in. Well, that's a whole different. The problem with the residential snow game is you're competing against a kid whose overhead is the shovel his parents bought him.
Yeah.
You know,
There's not
when you
I
get
don't
right down to it,
there's not many of those motivated kids anymore though.
that's true. Maybe that the residential snow game is growing for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what your insurance uh what you're supposed to have for insurance for those things are either. Residentially, is it all that different from commercially?
I'm gonna guess that 90% of people that are doing residential snow clearing don't have any insurance doing it.
Yeah, that's a mistake. I think a homeowner will sue you just as easily as
I think that part of it is because they're not responsible for salt. It's always when you do residential driveways, it's always just shoveling. I
yeah.
think it's a mistake too. I'm not justifying it anyway. I think you're absolutely right. It's a total mistake. But what I am saying is that most of the slip and fall becomes because you're responsible for the property
Yeah.
all week,
No,
and
I
not.
get it. And like when we started out in residential, we did a couple residential driveways and stuff like that. And like, what are you gonna sue me? What are you gonna take? You can't get blood from a stone. Like it was poor, right? It was just a poor landscape. What are you gonna take with a dump trailer?
Are
Do
you
you want
saying you're
my
not still a poor landscape?
well, I might be after the audit's done, but for now, I
Oh,
think I'm doing okay. Yeah.
the audit.
The audit. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's insurable or not. I don't. I know when I did it, it was not insured.
Hmm.
I did it.
I Go
Sorry.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Um, I remember a couple of years ago, we were gonna keep kicking that snow removal can down the road, and we were gonna do it another year, and then we talked to our insurance, and they said you can't take on any new clients. Like you're grandfathered in, nobody else can get snow removal, but you can't take anybody new onto your route. I'm like, well, that doesn't really make sense. Because like, yeah, they're trying to choke you out. Like they don't want you guys to do any snow anymore. I said, well, then I'm just gonna fold it. They're like, okay, you save $7,000 a year on your policy. So that's enough snow anyway. Enough snow headaches.
Oh, snow adds like a ridiculous. That was how long ago was that? $7,000. It'd probably be $25,000 now.
4 or 5 thousand years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, 5,000
I
years
bet
ago.
it. I bet it's $25,000 now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Can't say I miss it.
Do you remember the last time that you plowed snow?
Um, like the last day or the last like
Just the last
season.
time you did it. Like the last time you did it, not plowing your own yard. I mean, like plowing it on a job. Do you remember
Uh,
the last time you did it? Like, do you have that logged in your memory?
2013.
Do you remember the last shovel, Mike? Graphically, like you remember throwing that snow away and going, "This is the
that's it.
last motherfucking time I ever do this. I'm gonna move to a condo."
That was, I think it was like a 30-hour snowstorm that me and a buddy went out to do, and it sucked. 30 hours straight. Then that was the rest of my season. I didn't want to touch anymore.
See, I like a good
You quit
overnight
mid-season?
storm, but
No, I didn't quit mid-season. I did 2012 for my buddy's business, and then he he needed somebody off and on for 2013, and I didn't want to, but I decided to help him a couple of times, and that happened to be one of the couple times.
Mm.
And then that was my last time.
And since that last shovel that you threw, you have never been back out.
I've never been back out, and my life's been that much better.
I made a post about snow. It said snow removal, and then I changed it because I was like, "Oh God, what if insurance fucking sees that? Who knows what the fuck they'll fucking think?" So I changed it, and it says snow relocation because
yeah.
it said snow removal. I was like, "Fuck, insurance is gonna bring the hammer on me on the website search or whatever, you know. So I had to like, and then I started trying to think of another word. I almost had to get out a fucking thesaurus. There's a whole shit show on that post. So, anyways, what you worked at a supplier, Mike? Something crazy? You must have seen someone not giving a fuck. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I don't have the stories that you guys have with being out in the field and stuff, but I definitely have some supplier stories. And we had one employee that was particularly, I don't know how to put it. He was not a great employee. And yeah, I think he tried really hard. It's just like math and critical thinking and problem solving was not, thinking in general was not his skill. And we used to have to fill yard bags, but we didn't have the yard bag filler where you just dump it in. We had to tie it to our forks and then use a tractor and dump it. And I was in the office at this time, and I looked down to the yard, and he was driving a forklift with like 1 to 3 inch river rock or potato stone or whatever you call it. And he wasn't driving backwards, he was driving forwards, and there was a hole in the bag. So his forklift is just going boom, boom, like everywhere. Like he's on the verge of tipping this forklift, how bad he's just bobbling back and forth. And I remember asking him, like, hey, did you not notice there was a hole in the bag? He's like, yeah, but I didn't want to stop. I was so close to where I needed to put it. But he went like the whole distance of the entire yard. And you could see all the stone path that he left behind him. That's I got tons of stories from that guy for sure.
don't look like I give it. Oh, I have a quote that I thought that you guys could give me an opinion on. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I got a quote too.
Really? Do you want to do yours first, Mike, or mine? Chad, can you Google some quotes so you can say you have one too? Perfect. Good work, Chad.
All right.
Way to come prepared.
I didn't know you guys were conspiring.
No, I didn't know either. Mike,
not having a quote.
Either. I didn't know either. Mike just suddenly was all about having his own quote.
Yeah.
So do you want to hear mine first?
Yeah, you go first, PK.
If you can't, turn that down. If you can't measure it, assume it's good enough.
That'll lose you a lot of money.
I think so.
A lot of money.
Okay, so my argument would be is that when you don't know your numbers, you're not measuring, and you assume it's good enough.
Well, then I may be losing a lot of money, but
maybe
I'm not losing enough money to put me under.
Well, I'm not losing enough. I'm definitely losing money. I'm just not losing enough for it to actually affect my existence of my life. But I am losing money.
Well, we've been through this before, and you called me out on stealing that quote.
What quote?
Haven't you? Oh, wasn't it something like every job you win, you lose money?
Oh, you're losing money as soon as you get a contract.
Yeah,
right.
Like we're starting our big contract in Peterborough tomorrow, so we're gonna start losing money tomorrow, baby.
There you go. Plug that hole.
Tomorrow is the day we start losing money.
Peterborough, eh?
Peterborough, yeah, big job. It's I guess it would be like for us. This year. It would be like a fifth of our season. Oh, maybe not a fifth. Yeah, it's less than a quarter. So
a fifth of your season in.
It'd probably be it's less than a quarter of our. It would be less of our like if you took our last year's sales. This job alone would be like basically a quarter of our season.
Wow.
So we'll see how that goes.
Will you be able to work on it throughout the winter?
No, it's all spreading soil and planting trees. So I think that, the weather was looking good next week.
That's true.
Yeah, it looks good here too.
Because I'm looking at another planting thing tomorrow too, a fair sized planting job.
For this year?
Yeah, for the fall. So we're going to try.
You're running out of fall.
I know. We're going to try to do
coming into winter.
We're gonna try to, if we can get this second job, we're gonna try to pull off two huge planting jobs in November and December, which generally means they're gonna fail and not go well. And I know that it's happened to me a million times, but fuck it, I need to learn the lesson again.
As long as the topsoil is dry enough, you'll be okay. We have magic topsoil here for some reason.
Have you now? Maybe you've encountered this where you're from. The supplier of the soil at the job in Peterborough is selling it. Well, there's a whole story with this soil, but they're selling it to us by the ton.
So you only want to order topsoil on dry days?
That's what I said. It's the fucking exact same shit that I fucking said. It's bullshit.
That's common, not in my city, but in like Brockville and Kingston, apparently. Anytime we've tried to get soil, they sell it by the ton. I'm like, what the kind of racket is this? Are you there with a hose, like watering the topsoil as you're measuring it? Like, I don't, you can't measure topsoil. Hey, wait.
So we're supposed to be starting that on hauling the topsoil on Tuesday. So even bigger scam, these fucking people gave like a haulage rate of the topsoil with haulage of like $16.50 a ton. And so I said, well, what happens if I pick it up in my own trucks? Give me a rate for that. They're like, yeah, it's $13.80 a ton if you pick it up in your own truck. I said, okay, so you guys allowed like $50 to drive an hour in the truck? Which bullshit. You're just trying to force me into using your trucking.
Yeah.
But because I haven't dealt with the supplier before, and I don't understand this by the ton bullshit, I'm going to, even though it is going to epically lose money because we're only getting $50, I'm going to send Darian to fucking go get soil on fucking Tuesday, and I'm going to see how much soil you get for how many tons. Because I've never bought, in my whole life, I've never bought soil by the ton. It sounds crazy. Chris says that soil generally weighs a ton per yard.
That's sort of what I was figuring. So that's a good price at $18.50 delivered. 16.50.
16.34 delivered.
A yard.
$13.80 if I pick it up. A ton.
That's cheap topsoil.
Again, we're back to the ton thing. I know you said the yard because that's what everyone fucking says. But
we're on the honor system. We're loading our own soil and taking it away, and just telling the retailer or the supplier how much we took lately.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not that you're trying to scam anyone, but it cuts down on the amount of like going in and out and fucking
tickets
and bullshit. You just load the soil, say we took 100 yards. Just the money you save on the endless stopping to pay for things, probably making more money.
Well, we send them a check at the end of the month or whatever.
Yeah. So what do you do? Report it every day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys just write it down in their little book, and then I text it off to the proper authorities, and they send the invoice. So, but that's all by the yard, not by the ton down here. And for some reason, even though it's rained for the past 2 weeks, almost every second day at least, the topsoil is bone dry. It's incredible. Yeah. Yeah. So, the stroke of luck
supplier
this
that
time
keeps
of the
their
year.
topsoil in their salt dome.
Yeah. I wonder how that, like, unless you clean it out real good, is it going to be salty topsoil?
Salty.
Like, because that would be the worst. Trying to warranty plants that you planted in salty topsoil.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not their salt dome. Maybe it's just they have a bunch of domes. Yeah, I never thought about that. You just said it. Maybe I don't think it is this. I think there's 2 or 3 domes all beside each other. But maybe they don't put salt in that one. Most of those places only have one big dome, right?
Yeah, I want a big dome
for salt.
Yeah, like I don't go to the quarry often to like get materials because I think that's the absolute worst waste of my time, and I get frustrated waiting like 10 minutes for a loader operator to come and load me up. It's been in the past I've called my guys at the yard and told them to get in the loader and drive to the quarry and load me because I'm not waiting for this motherfucker to load me up. They're like, "Are you serious?" So like, you just have to go find him. Like, I'm not driving around to find the fucking guy. Come and load me.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
What did the quarry say?
I don't think they care because you have to go to the scale afterwards anyway.
Yeah, as long as you tear in and tear, you're like,
yeah.
So if you were doing a big gravel job, you would literally say to them, "I'm just going to bring my own loader today. I don't have time to fuck around."
I would, like, if I had like something bigger than a tandem to run gravel, I guess.
Well, I'm just, even if it was only around the corner, it's still cheaper to do it with your own truck. So
yeah, for sure.
But say you needed to get 20 loads and you can't trust that this quarry will have a loader there all the time.
Yeah.
You could just say to them, "Hey, I'm bringing my own loader today."
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't blame them because I'm in sometimes a 5-ton truck or like a tandem or like a heavy single, and then they're loading like live bottoms and stuff all day. So what would you stop and do? Go load the little guy in a little truck or keep loading?
I would say that
walkouts and
I think the rules, like at some of the quarries here, like if you get out of the truck, you're banned.
Oh, we don't have that rule.
Yeah, here you're
let alone loading yourself.
Let alone bringing your own
We don't have any rules at this quarry.
So there's like the main pit where everyone gets 3/4 clear from. There's like a big 3/4 clear shortage. And so Christy went to go get 3/4 clear. And the guy in front of her radioed in and he had a live bottom and they told him there was no 3/4 clear. And then she rolled on the scale and said, "Oh, I guess that sucks. What's the closest you have?" And the scale house said, "Oh, we have enough 3/4 clear for a triaxle, but not for a live bottom left in the pile." So Christy went down and got the 3/4 clear and came back up. And the guy in that truck ended up behind her coming back up. And so she called in on the CB and said, "Yeah, I got the 19 mil. I got the 19 mil." And the guy in the truck behind went crazy on the scale house. "You fucking told me I couldn't get that. What the fuck was going on?" So she rolled on the scale and got the fuck out of there.
Right on.
Because she got the last of the 3/4 clear. Yeah, there's like a big 3/4 clear shortage.
Interesting.
We've got mountains of this stuff here.
So. I am a big shortage. Huge. We had to deliver some HL6 to people.
All these names still boggle me. They got to be standardized somehow.
Well, I think that's what the whole point of the HL6 is.
Right.
HL6, HL3. I think they're trying to standardize it.
I don't even know what those things are.
Well, 3/4 clear should be an HL something else, I guess. But everyone calls it 3/4 clear because 3/4 clear is not a real measurement that we would use in this country. It's actually 19 mil, the stone.
Right.
3/4 clear is 19 mil.
Makes sense. We wouldn't measure things in
inches, but that's what we all say. Well, we didn't fight for our independence, so we could use pounds.
Be one of 3 countries to use
just saying. We didn't I guess we didn't win that victory in the War of 1812.
Yeah.
We actually crushed them in a war.
And burnt down the White House.
Yeah. We're badasses. Canada. Have you guys seen that thing where Andrew Tate, because he's out of jail or whatever his prosecution in Romania was, he's talking about being from Canada?
Really?
And
he's not from Canada, is he?
No, he's talking about people like being a guy from Canada, and how if you're a guy, you can't be a guy from Canada. It's just the way he's like, you can't be a guy and be from Canada. You can't be. You should you gotta look it up. It's like this thing where he's going off about how every guy in Canada are pathetic wimps.
Okay.
And fuck it. I don't know. It's just funny because I don't know why anyone would be so focused on Canada.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's focused on it because of Trudeau.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the world that think Trudeau's a communist or a fucking dictator. Like that's a big thing. So maybe he's in Bulgaria or Romania or wherever the fuck he's lived or imprisoned or whatever the shit is going on with him. It's that's the, I guess, would be the thing. What's your quote, Mike?
My quote. Well, we didn't finish talking about your quote, did we?
Oh no, I just talked about it. That's true.
Yeah. What was your quote again?
Fuck, Mike. Really?
You can't measure it.
Oh, if you can't measure it, assume it's good enough.
Yeah, that'll get you into some trouble.
Where would you rate that? 1 to 5. You can't use 3. That's something that you should base your business on.
I give it a 1.
A 1. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you
Who said this?
Me.
You said this?
So Caleb posted a thing from LAL. I think he was at it, and there was a screen, and on it said, "If you can't measure it, you can't improve it." So we'll give that credit to Caleb.
Okay.
I don't know if it was his quote or where it came from at LAL, but the quote was, "If you can't measure it, you can't improve it." And my quote is, "If you can't measure it, assume it's good enough." So I like that's really a Mike. I guess it's direct from Paper King.
A PK original.
I should get a shirt that says, "If you can't measure it, assume it's good enough." Put it on shirt.
Is there anything you can point to in your business that you could say, we can't measure this, so it's got to be good enough?
I think there's probably a large group of things I would say I can't be bothered to measure this. Is probably good enough.
So
is there something that's unmeasurable? Or something that I've tried to measure that I've been unsuccessful measuring? I don't know.
Employee satisfaction. It hasn't caused you to have to measure it, so you assume it's good enough.
I have never measured that. I have not done a survey, so I think that would be one of the things I'm assuming is good enough. Chad?
Well, you haven't measured hydroseed areas before and assumed they were good enough, or your price was good enough, right?
What? Sorry, I missed that.
So didn't you eyeball a hydroseed area before?
Yeah, I did.
And throw a price at it and assume it was good enough?
And I assumed it was good enough. And I didn't make any money, but I didn't lose any money either. I think I made $75 on it. So like, you're right. That didn't go great for me. That was a great example, Chad, of things that maybe didn't go perfect for me. The people from Peterborough sent us like, I don't know, 100-page contract. And so Kelly says, "You need to review this because I don't understand a lot of it." And I was like, okay. So I sat down today. So I'm going to go through this contract page by page, line by line. This is really important. This is something I need to do. And I got to the 3rd page and was like, I don't really fucking care. I'm going to sign this no matter what it says.
Until it says you're not getting paid for your trees for 2 years.
No, I got to the part. No, I got to the part where it said, if you check the box, you can take the 1% or 2% early payment discount and we'll pay you early. I got to that line and went, we're good. We get paid early. We take 2% off. So I went into Kelly and said, listen, you need to read this because my brain does not function well enough to read this fucking thing. So she's reading it. Even though she does, I said, there's something you don't understand, bring it to me. She's like, there's all this stuff about we have to plant the trees. I'm like, yeah, the specs are on the drawings. Like, it says like L2, it'll say like trees must be planted, refer to L2, whatever.
The type of stakes they want.
And all that shit.
Yeah.
The soil from here, I don't know if we talked about this. It was on site and an excavating contractor came and excavated it, removed it from site, stored it for the last 3 years, and is now screening it in their yard and selling it back to make sure that they're getting the right soil. They're being respectful of the indigenous soil.
Mm. so that they have the proper seed bank.
That's so okay. They said that part of it was because they want the seed mix to grow.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this, Chad?
Yeah, assuming it's like, is there someone monitoring this topsoil pile to make sure it doesn't impact the
Well,
exact topsoil?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
like,
They could have dumped it off the cliff and just be screening some other soil. I
yeah,
don't.
yeah,
This all happened well before I got involved in this project. So
yeah.
I know they're selling me back the soil by the ton. So
By the ton.
by the ton.
I think so. It would have been more cost effective for you to do this during the dry summer than it would in the November rain.
It would have been significantly better, I believe, to have done this in a super dry summer.
Oh, well.
I think it would have been significantly better. Yeah. But I can't change the timing.
Can't change the timing.
They did screen all the soil too, so that it can sit there. Because one of the discussions that I've been involved in since we started this job was, is there enough soil?
Ooh, we got caught with our pants down there.
What you did?
Yeah,
You didn't have enough indigenous soil that was transported and screened and then transported back?
correct.
Really? So you've
Yeah.
done this before?
Yeah, we just went through it in Brockville, and they wanted me to pay for it. They wanted me to pay for any excess soil that was necessary to finish the job.
So tell me what happened to you, because now I'm really interested in this.
So they took these incredible engineers who are absolutely always right all the time, had surveyed the site and done their calculations to find out that there are 650 cubic meters of soil that will be removed from the site and stockpiled. That stockpiled soil will be screened and reused on the project.
Yes.
Well, when I spread out that supposed 650 cubic meters of soil back on the job, it left us about 60 to 75% of the job complete with no soil for the remaining part of the job, right? So they said, we'll split it with you. And I go, why should I split it? Why should I pay anything? Like, I gave you a per meter price to install the soil based on stockpile soil. I said, well, that's not how it works. You can pay for the whole thing if you want. I'm like, no, we're going to investigate this further. So
And then you got out the contract.
then I got out the contract, and it says nothing about not having enough soil. So, I mean, it's not.
So
How
they
could you
think
expect? Yeah, like,
they think there's going to be an excess.
well, that's better than not enough.
So there's
Sure.
one of the current problems is that there's a pile of for whatever reason the excavating contractor left about 8 loads of soil in the middle of the pond. And so they said to me, someone said to me, just spread it out. I said, okay, well, that's not what the architect wants. The architect wants this soil screened and then spread screened. So I'm not spreading 8 loads of soil around that's unscreened and full of rocks and then have to scrape it up later. Like, I'm not, that's not advantageous for me at all. And this pile of soil has nothing to do with me. So I said, if you're looking for solutions, I'll truck the soil to the place where the other indigenous soil is being stored, and then they can screen it. Like, oh, but we already have an excess. I said, okay, well, do you want me to truck it somewhere else? They're like, well, no, it's the indigenous soil. We have to save it. So, okay, well, we're out of stalemate.
Yeah.
It can't stay where it is. I'm not spreading it out because that's not the contract. You don't want me to take it to where the other soil is so it can get screened, because that might be for no reason. And you also don't want me to take it somewhere else.
They want you to transport the screener there and use it first.
Said. Bring the screener. So I'm not bringing a screener here for 8 loads of soil. It's just not happening.
No.
The final solution for some reason was to dig a really big hole and put the soil in the hole and then use the fill from the hole at the side of the building where it's low. I said, couldn't we just put the soil at the side of the building where it's low? Like, we got to dig a big hole? This is fucking.
Let's dig a big hole.
We got to dig a big hole so we get to good fill, take the fill all the way over to the side of the building, fill up the side of the building till we get the side of the building at subgrade. So then we can put the soil. Then we're going to move the pile of topsoil into the hole. Why don't we just move the topsoil into the hole that already exists at the side of the building and bring it up to subgrade?
What engineering firm is this?
I don't even know. This is just the general. I haven't dealt with the engineering firm. This is the general contractor I said, you're doing all this to avoid me paying me to truck
8 loads of soil.
8 loads of soil to some place that's 20 minutes down the fucking road.
Literally $1,000 problem.
Yes, that's now been converted into a $5,000 or $6,000 problem. By the time you dig this hole and truck the fill or whatever you want to call it out of the bottom of the hole, truck it over to the side of the building and spread it out. You could just truck the pile of soil that's already there to the side of the building and spread it out. What if the topsoil is deep in the area where you're digging the hole and you just end up with the same fucking soil that you already have?
Well, then you might as well bring the screener.
But
you have more than 8 loads now.
Yeah, the screener's like fucking $10,000 a week or some shit. Like, screeners are expensive.
Yeah, I need a screener.
They're fucking big money.
Do you think it's worth it to buy a screener and use it and then sell it?
I guess maybe. They're expensive, man.
Yeah, they are very expensive.
You should get one of those Chinese screeners.
Yeah, but then I know it's worth nothing after the fact.
Oh, I saw this TikTok about this fucking guy. I don't know, were we talking about it on here about the Chinese that are selling like the excavators for like 17 grand, but it's like a 30-ton cat.
Yeah.
It's only 2 years old. So that's true. This guy I saw this guy talking about this TikTok on it, since that's the only place we get news in Canada. And he was saying that they will sell it to you for 17,000. And then the one he was talking about specifically was 307, a Cat 307, a 2021 that had 1,000 hours on it, and they were selling it for $17,000. But he was saying that then you got to ship it, and when they ship them, they don't give a fuck. They just stuff them in, whether they get. And he said to ship it is about 12 grand, and then once it lands at the port, you can't pick it up because you don't have port rights. So you have to hire a shipping company that can pick it up. Then you need a broker to get it through all these things. And then if someone actually looks at it, they'll figure out that it doesn't pass admissions in this country, and then they'll impound it. And then you have to prove you can get it to pass admissions, but all of it is going to be in Chinese, like all the language in it and the computer and everything. There won't be any English because it's made for a different market, even though it's a Cat 307. All in all, he said it would, by the time you got in possession of it, you could spend up to 75,000, which is still a bargain for a 2021 Cat 307. But then you run into the problem that it might not talk to the computers here.
Yeah. No, thank you.
All of it seems, that's what I said too. I said, holy shit, fuck that. That seems like really complex.
But what I don't understand, above all else, is that they're willing to spend $30,000 for my backhoe and send it to Egypt, but a Cat 307 that's 2 years old is only 17 grand.
Well, they're two different kinds of equipment.
Yeah, understood. But the shovel is worth far more. And I'm pretty sure they're not English in Egypt either. So what does it matter?
Why aren't they buying them from China?
Why aren't they buying them from China, sending them to Egypt instead of sending them to Egypt?
Isn't Chinese money worth more than ours?
Probably.
Isn't all money worth more than ours?
Yeah, I don't think ours is worth very much.
I know it costs like $8 to get one Zimbabwe dollar.
Wow.
I'm just joking. I have no idea what the value of Zimbabwe currency is.
I think they went through hyperinflation. I think their money's worthless right now.
Probably.
That
They're
makes
all,
two of us then.
yeah, they're close to where we are. Buy things.
Hmm.
So, what did you rate the quote, Chad?
What was the quote again? For the third time?
If you can't measure it, assume it's good enough.
Well, at first I didn't like it, but then you pointed out that's how I run my business. So that's got to be a 4.
Nice. It's a 4 for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I'd say like, well, I don't lose it. Like, I'm a very sound sleeper, and maybe I'm a sound sleeper because I let all this shit that I should be worried about go undetected.
The thing is,
Maybe I'm oblivious in business.
if you're not having a problem, does it matter? You know, like if you were saying, I'm not happy with the profit margins that NDL is making, then I would say to you, you need to grind further into what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're happy with the current state of affairs at NDL and your family's comfortable, you're doing well, do you want to spend your time grinding further into things, or do you want to just enjoy the time?
No, I want to enjoy what's in front of me. But it's not a problem until it's a problem, right?
Yeah,
And for some people that could get out of control real quick.
Yes.
But we are frugal with our money. Like we're not excessive spenders, both personally and in the business. Like we don't take on more than, like, we have a safety net for this sort of thing. We have a safety net that makes up for my lack of uh skill in business, I guess.
Do you know how much a tube of glue costs?
Oh, glue, $22.
A tube of glue costs $22.
Yeah.
Are you buying big tubes?
Yeah, we don't use those little tubes.
Okay, so I always judge things on. So does it really cost $22, or you just assume it costs $22? Like, did you look it up this year and say this is what a tube of glue costs?
No.
I'm just not trying to be mean. I'm just because
I buy 6 cases at a time, and there's a discount there somewhere. So I'd say it may be even less, right?
Okay, but yeah, so if I'm estimating glue, I allow $150 a case. I buy
big tube or little tube?
Little tubes. I buy little tubes. Well, it's actually probably the same amount of glue. I don't like big tubes because you end up with half a tube and then it goes to waste or it gets.
I don't like little tubes because nobody ever has a knife, and oh my God, waste more time with little tubes than anything.
It's a battle of the wasted material versus the wasted time. I agree. I don't know that there's a proper solution. I've done it both ways. But when I estimate in little tubes because that's how my brain works. So I allow $150 a case. I have no fucking clue what glue costs. Does anyone here know what an actual small tube of glue costs? Like I can look it up. Literally no fucking clue what it costs, and I allow $150 a case. I could be losing, but because it's an item that on the average job we don't use a shit ton of glue, we have the same case sometimes for 2 or 3 jobs. But I always allow for a case.
Isn't there 24 little ones in a case?
24 little ones?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you allow $150?
I don't think they're $10 each for little ones.
But if they're $5 each, that's 120 right there.
So I'm still in the good.
I think they're like 8, are they not? I don't know.
This is the whole point I'm making. But so here's the thing.
Yeah.
On every job, I allow for a case of glue.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
you're rich in glue.
Well, maybe not. Maybe by I get to the end of the year, maybe a job took 2 cases and I only allowed for 1, but then another job only took 1 tube, and then another job didn't even use any glue. But I always just write it as a line item. Oh, case of glue, $150. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying about it being a 1. I agree with you, but on the flip side, when it comes to this glue, it's a 4. me,
Okay, that's what, 311 mil
I don't know.
I don't know.
adhesive. Okay. Retail price 12.22. Trade
Jesus.
price 9.16.
What kind of glue?
ML adhesive.
That
What's
seems like
ML?
too much. But with
Well,
inflation, who knows?
I buy the big stuff, 858 mil.
Mm.
Uh, Retail price 27.44. My price 20.56. That's one box. When you buy three boxes, they're 17.87.
So how much would my glue be if I bought a box?
One box, 10.18 a piece.
So
Or
I'm
that
so
could be wrong. 9.16 a piece, sorry. Buy three
I,
boxes, 8.48 or 8.84.
so I'm losing money if I use a whole case of glue on a job.
There's 72 piece or 24 pieces per case.
Yeah, that's small tubes.
So yeah. So you're losing $90.
I don't know if we have 24 in our cases. Maybe we do.
No?
But what I was saying to Mike is I allow for a case of glue on every job. So some jobs I don't use any glue, and some jobs I only use one tube, and then other jobs I use a half case, and some jobs I might use a whole
Hmm.
case. But I just allow for a case of glue on every. It's the same as when I buy the. No matter how big the job is, I allow for an entire roll of geotextile
Yeah.
because an entire roll of geotextile is like $150. Or we buy the GF5. It's 6 by 100, and I think it's like $150 or $110. I don't know. I allow $150 for that, even if I only need 10 square feet of it. So does it all
Yeah.
come out in the wash? I don't know. I assume it does.
In my accounting, it definitely would. Like that's how I operate.
You would allow for a whole case of glue on every
Not
job?
necessarily, but I always overestimate my quantities or I forget about them completely and just hope it comes out in the wash.
How much do you guys overestimate pavers for a square or a rectangular patio and for a curved patio?
I try not to do any more curved shit. But 10% usually.
10% for square and rectangle?
Yeah. But the problem is when you put it on the quote, they think they're getting that 10%, right? That extra 10%. They like instead of 100 square foot patio, they think they're getting 110 square foot patio.
Mm.
Right?
You put that on the quote?
I could. I should probably.
I put it on the quote as an approximate, and then I've got an added line for saying that any additional over the approximate square foot is waste, or it goes back to the dealer. It doesn't belong to the client, essentially.
Yeah, I always bring extra and they said, "Do we get a credit for that?" Like, you absolutely do not. It's here because I don't want to drive around for the afternoon and pick
I
up
know
material.
when we like in the past, when I used to actually talk to people, and I didn't just send them an email and then they said go ahead and then we went and did the job, which I know that time has come to an end too. I used to tell people like, I'm going to have extra pavers here in case you want to make it bigger, or in case we have to cut, or in case the color doesn't match on one of the skids or layers, or there's F-flow. So if you see a bunch of extra pavers, understand that they're here for a reason and they're going to go back at the end.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the biggest problems with someone making the patio bigger is what if there was only 10 skids from that batch?
Mm.
Or they brought, like, if you make a big enough order, they might, or order something weird, they're only going to bring it in. They're only going to bring it in what they need. That dealer's only going to bring in what they need of that product. So if you don't have extra, first of all, you can't go to the dealer to get it. You have to order it. And then secondly, it's probably not going to match the same batch.
Yeah.
So
That's a whole other headache.
oh yeah, well that's happened to me. That's why I do it now this way. It doesn't ever bother me if I estimate the material to be there and then we return it. I don't care about the 25%. I already estimated the material to be there. We just returned material off the residential job we had. I don't know why. I don't understand what happened, although I think Nancy used that fucking zip level thing. I'm just joking because the fucking levels are actually right. But I don't know what happened. I don't know why there was, I don't understand. Maybe I fucked up somewhere because there was like a whole skid of extra pavers. And that doesn't usually happen to me. I usually have like 2 or 3 layers or something, but not whole fucking skids.
What's the worst you've ever fucked up on an estimate and over
Oh, I
or
can tell you
under?
the worst I've ever participated in.
Either way. Yeah. I have one that I participated in as well. But
You can go first.
so I was in Panama and we had a job closing for a school that we thought was about 5,500 square feet of pavers. It was Lexa, the large rectangle slab, the hammer finish, no longer available. And so we're like, yeah, 5,500 square feet of pavers, great. Order them. We got the job, ship them. We did half the first year, which was last year, and then the job was ongoing. So we finished that job this year. And I was worried that we wouldn't have enough because there's all these windy paths and shit like that. Thought we were gonna have a lot of cutting and waste and all this shit. And it came to our last maybe 2,000 square feet to lay, and we had 37 pallets left on the job. There's 94 square feet per pallet.
I was just gonna say, how many square feet is there per pallet?
94 square feet per pallet. We have 17 pallets of that material sitting at my yard right now.
Oh man.
That needs to go in some residential job.
That needs to go somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did we still win the job? Pricing it 17 pallets high.
Well, it's not just the 17 pallets, it's 17 pallets of aggregate, 17 pallets of labor, 17 pallets of it's not just the 17 pallets, because when you price it, you priced it for 5,500 square feet installed.
Supplied, installed. Yeah, the whole thing.
So
I'm like, did they not get anybody else to price this job? Or how out of touch was everybody's price on this one that we still got it?
Or how it touches your price.
Yeah, that could be it too, like
maybe I'm doing this a little bit too cheap.
Yeah, then you turn around and price something in Ottawa and
don't
lose it by we're pricing another one actually that got canceled and now it's out for retender. And I called the GC. I'm like, can you just let me know like how close we were last time around so that I know like how hard I should hit this with the pencil and stuff? He's like, oh yeah, and he starts naming off everybody's prices. I'm like, I don't know if you should be like, I just want to know how close I was. Like, was this guy like 50 grand lower or like am I within 10% or something? And he's naming off everybody's prices. I'm just like, I didn't ask for that, but thank you, I guess. Like,
it's private though, right?
Yeah, I know, but
private tender, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, but I guess now I know in the future to be careful pricing with them based on that, right? The fact that he's so willing to give out everybody's price should scare you a little bit.
Was it the owner of the company or the estimator?
No, the estimator. Yeah. Probably. And then I called another GC bidding the same job, and they're like, "Oh, you were within 4% of the lowest." He didn't tell me if I was 4% lower than the second bid. But anyway, we got to revisit that one.
4% summary. Well, it depends how big the job is, but
4% on 400 grand. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I would take it.
I would take it for sure.
4%.
Yeah.
You can find some extra, some way to make it up.
Yeah. Or don't, because you were going to do it for that price anyway. Just be happy with it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So what's your quote, Mike?
My quote. All right. After we've given some advice there, here's my quote. Be wary of the man or woman. So be wary of them who urge an action in which they themselves incur no risk.